Okay, so I wanted to talk about vanity and God for a second. So, if you're a believer in God, then you probably know that vanity is a sin. And one of the reasons why vanity is a sin is because it makes you focus more on yourself and not other people, which is not what God wants. Another reason why it's a sin is because it causes you to worry all the time. It causes you to feel anxious, nervous, and just completely sick. If you take it too far, it can cause you to feel sick. And that's also why it's a sin, because God doesn't want us to worry about anything. He wants us to be happy and peaceful as much as we can, and He wants us to trust Him. Now, like many of you, I've been obsessed with my looks plenty of times. There's been plenty of times I've watched a movie where there was a hot chick in a bikini and a girl with ginormous boobies and a ginormous booty and all this and stuff, and all the guys are just looking at her and thinking, oh my gosh, she's so hot, I want to do this to her, I want to do that to her. There's been plenty of times that I felt jealous and I thought, wow, I'd really like to look like that, because my body don't look anything like that. So we've all been there before. But with God's help, I've learned how to really love myself for who I am, and to stop obsessing about what other people think of me and stop worrying about what guys think of me. I'll probably do another video on why you shouldn't care what people think of you and all that, but right now I just want to talk about vanity. So vanity is a sin because it causes you to worry all the time. And I started thinking about, back in the old days, what life must have been like before mirrors were invented, and how people were able to look at themselves. And I started thinking, okay, so the only way they could look at themselves back then was in the reflection of water, or maybe in the reflection of somebody's eyes, which is not very easy. And if you wanted to see yourself in someone's eyes, you'd have to tell them, okay, don't blink. Whatever you do, don't blink, because I gotta look at myself, which is very weird. But I started thinking that if God wanted us to look at ourselves all the time, then He probably would have put our eyeballs outside of our head so that we could only see ourselves. But instead, He didn't do that. He put our eyeballs in our head so we can see what our body looks like and our hair, but we can't really see what our face looks like. We can't see what the back part of us looks like. We just don't really get a very good look at ourselves. And I started thinking that that's probably why God did that, because He probably feels that the less you look at yourself, the more confident you can feel. And that's actually the truth, because I haven't been looking at myself very much in the mirror lately, and I do feel a lot more confident in myself. And sometimes I just like to pretend like I look as beautiful as I want to, so that I don't have to worry about it. I just go ahead and pretend like I look however I want to, and I don't look in the mirror because I don't want that fantasy of myself to be ruined. But either way, I've also found that not looking at yourself in the mirror also helps you to focus a little more on other people and the things around you, and not so much on yourself. So that's why I feel vanity is a sin, because it kind of takes you out of the real world and it makes you focus more on yourself and what you can do to better yourself, and just do everything to make yourself look good and just perfect. And like I said, Like back in the old days when people used to eat very healthy and would walk everywhere, they didn't have to try very hard to keep themselves in shape and to keep themselves looking good. But, nowadays it's a little bit harder because we have more pressure on ourselves. But I think the first step in not being vain and not letting your looks get to you is just stop looking at yourself in the mirror. Stop taking so many pictures of yourself and just stop comparing yourself to other people. Honestly, there ain't even no point in comparing yourself to other people because God is the one who created you. He knew what he was getting when he got you, so there ain't even no point in comparing yourself to no one else. If God wanted you to be that person, he would have made you that person. So just learn how to love who you are and learn how to focus on the world around you and not only on yourself. Okay, I think that's all I want to say. I don't want this to be a very long video, so I'm just going to go ahead and go. Thanks for watching.